Welcome to the Speedplay Tech Series. We'll be showing you how to correctly install all Speedplay road cleats to any 3- or 4-hole shoe. The performance of your Speedplay pedals is critically dependent on the proper installation, lubrication, and maintenance of your cleats. Speedplay makes the world's only dual-sided road pedals, allowing you to simply step down and engage without looking down, fumbling, or flipping the pedal over. Speedplay's easy-to-use dual-sided design is achieved by locating the locking mechanism on the cleat rather than on the pedal. This innovation allows for dual-sided entry while eliminating redundant mechanisms. It also reduces overall system weight, improves aerodynamics, and improves cornering clearance. Speedplay cleats consist of 3 separate layers: the black base plate with attached snap shims, the spring housing with spring, and the gold bottom plate. The spring housing layer is yellow for all standard Zero systems, gray for light action systems, black for all X series pedals, and carbon black for 0 nanogram systems. Cleats and pedals from each system are system specific and are not compatible or interchangeable with one another. Be sure you are using the correct cleats designed for your specific pedal system. Before mounting, you'll need a number 2 Phillips screwdriver to tighten down the hardware and a straight edge or flat surface to check and ensure the base plate is flat when mounted. The first layer, the base plate, allows you to precisely adjust fore-aft placement. If you're using a Speedplay specific 4-hole shoe, the base plate will be eliminated and fore-aft adjustment can be made directly with the shoe mounting holes. The spring housing layer has only lateral slots that accommodate side-to-side cleat placement, allowing precise and repeatable adjustment of stance width. The first step in mounting your cleats is to determine which set of snap shims is required for your brand and model of shoe. Check our shoe compatibility guide at speedplay.com for suggestions on what shims to use with your brand of shoe. The pre-installed 1F and 1R snap shims work for most shoes. If they don't work for your shoes, you may need to remove one or both of them and use the other supplied snap shims. The 4F and 4R snap shims are made for shoes with smaller radiuses of curvature. Uncommonly, shoes with more flat sole will need our 3F and 3R snap shims, which are available separately from Speedplay retailers. Due to variances in shoe sizes and soles, you may need to experiment with different combinations of our snap shims or use extra shims to find the proper match for your shoes. When changing snap shims, use a flat screwdriver or butter knife to pry them off while being careful not to break them. Keep in mind that your goal for determining which snap shims to use is to ensure the cleat will mount both flat from back to front and side to side when tightened down. Install the base plate to the shoe with the correct snap shims attached using the specially designed 5mm mounting screws. Typically, the black 5 by 8.5mm screws are used. Center the base plate under the ball of the foot or wherever personal preference dictates, then tighten down the screws. Make sure that the screws are sufficiently threaded into the sole with at least 5 full turns. Use the longer silver 5 by 11mm screws if necessary to ensure proper thread engagement. At this point, you should set the fore-aft placement of the cleat. The maximum torque for the base plate screws is 35 inch-pounds. Over-tightening the screws may damage the base plate, so be careful to follow the recommended torque settings. After mounting the base plate to the shoe, sight a straight edge along the surface of the base plate or set it on a flat surface to ensure that there is no evidence of bowing or warping. Once you have the base plate installed correctly, snap the spring housing and metal bottom plate together to form an assembly, using the black 4 by 11mm screws to attach the assembly to the base plate. Place any rider-specific shims in between the base plate and the rest of the cleat assembly. Rider-specific shims include leg length discrepancy shims or canting wedges and may require the use of longer screws. Canting wedges also require the use of a carbon sole protector. Both the carbon sole protector and longer screws are available at your local Speedplay dealer, and canting wedges are available from bikefit.com. Now, verify the words right and left on your spring housing are facing the inside of the shoe. Before tightening the screws to the prescribed torque, adjust the side-to-side placement of the cleat assembly on the base plate to accommodate your stance width. Check to make sure you have adequate clearance between your crank arm and the heel of the shoe. The cleat is now ready to be tightened properly into place. The proprietary 4 by 11mm screws have several indexing tabs on the underside of the screw head. Tighten the screws down until resistance from these tabs becomes prominent, and then tighten only 1/4 turn more. The maximum torque for cleat fastening screws is 20 inch-pounds. Over-tightening of these screws may bind the cleat springs and prevent the cleats from performing properly.
After they are mounted, apply Speedplay SP Lube or another appropriate dry lubricant. Your cleats are now ready to be clipped into your pedals. We recommend clipping in and out of your pedals several times while stationary and safely supported from falling to help the cleats break in and ensure proper operation. If switching to Speedplay from another brand of pedals, you will need to lower your saddle to accommodate the lower stack height of Speedplay pedals and use the different step-down entry technique. The Speedplay Zero Cleat features inward and outward heel limit screws, which allow you to micro-adjust the 15-degree float range of each foot independently. The yellow spring housing is marked with the words heel in and heel out. To reduce the amount of heel in float, simply tighten the limit screw labeled heel in with a number 1 Phillips screwdriver. To reduce the amount of heel out float, tighten the limit screw labeled heel out. For a fixed riding position, tighten both screws so that the spring no longer rotates within the spring housing. Speedplay cleats require routine lubrication for optimal performance and durability. Speedplay SP Lube is specially formulated to dry instantly and bond to the pedal and cleat surfaces, creating a highly protective barrier that does not attract dirt. Use SP Lube regularly to ensure maximum functionality and optimal pedal performance. Speedplay coffee shop caps keep dirt and mud out of your Light Action Zero or X Series cleats when you're off the bike and give you better traction when walking. We recommend the cleats be replaced every 3,000 to 5,000 miles or whenever the parts show visible wear. Be sure to replace Speedplay cleats before the base plates or screw heads show excessive wear.
By following these simple installation and care instructions, you can optimize the many performance benefits of Speedplay pedals, including lighter weight, better power transfer, quick dual-sided entry, a comfortable, stable platform, improved cornering clearance, and superior aerodynamics. If you have any questions or concerns while installing or adjusting your Speedplay cleats, don't hesitate to contact us.